Hello and welcome back to It's New. I'm the sweet Barry Schwartz, and with us is Greg Finn and Mordy Oberstein. Hello.
Hello, hello.
Oh, it is
All
good.
right. Greg, what are you talking about?
Google's dumbest campaign type is getting an upgrade, though the names won't have you believe that.
And Mordy?
GBP call data disconnected.
Nice. And I'll be talking about Apple. They may have a big search index, but its size is important.
All right, big news. This isn't big news, but from Google, any smart campaigns are now transitioning to Performance Max, according to Vishal Nanalani, caught by Adrian Decker over on LinkedIn. There was an email that went out and said that as Google evolves its ad offering, smart campaign functionality is transitioning into Performance Max. Performance Max provides all the same benefits of smart campaigns and more, yada, yada, yada. Smart campaigns are literally the worst campaign type that you could ever use on Google. And that you could tell that because the name of them, right? Like when you name something so ridiculous, that's typically a sign that they're not good. You can't see like keyword data. You don't really put anything in. It does go out onto maps and YouTube and basically the same things that Performance Max will. Performance Max does have some display where smart campaigns do not. So there might be a little bit of adjustment, but basically if you're running smart campaigns, you're probably not looking at your Google Ads account, and it's moving to Performance Max. And as long as they get all those conversion goals and everything over and get you on a smart bidding, this is going to be an upgrade. So I don't know a single human being that uses smart campaigns at all. There's no need, no use for them whatsoever.
I'm sorry. I thought I was being smart by using them on my campaigns.
I was saying I've been using this whole time.
I mean, if you don't like data, that's great. I would say maybe that doesn't make you smart, but to each your own. I'm sure as long as it's working for you, Barry.
I'm just joking. I don't use smart campaigns. I don't pay Google because of their monopolistic actions. I'm sorry, Greg.
Oh, I do. But I don't think anybody's going to see anything majorly different here. But somebody that might see some differentiation is those that use call extensions. Lori Gilstrap over on LinkedIn had found that for a call extension, usually it used to just be like a phone number. Now, right underneath that, it shows a description of who you're going to call. So it's, hey, here's the number and it's Ghostbusters. You know what I mean? But it's nice that you can just see that now, and it gives it a little bit more visibility with in that call extension there. So just a nice little feature there, and you can check it out if it's in your account, if you are local and using call extensions. And then lastly, over on Search Engine Roundtable, there is the Google Ads news that there's new featured options search interface that's showing up. And this was from Vijay Chauhan. And there was a screenshot where they were looking for Chicago events. I don't know, Barry, if this was you or not, but you could see featured options. And the first one there was AARP that had showed up. And you could see things happening.
Wait. Are you saying Barry's old?
I just didn't know if he searched this or not.
It's personalized results based on my age. Even though I look like I'm 75, I'm really only 44. But I mean, that's what SEO does to you. But it is weird. I don't get this. I mean, featured options was a feature under like hotel ads, and it does seem somewhat eventy, but it looks like AARP is having some type of really wild party in Chicago. So I hope to attend because I'm over the 75 age limit. Hopefully I'll see somebody there in a few years, but I do agree. And the only comment I got about this was why is the sponsor label so small? I'm like, that's this normal sponsor label. That's how they always are.
Yeah, and it's why Google keeps talking about like all of your of these prominence metrics and making sure you've got all these ad formats. And it's still really hard to understand what the ad formats are, but you can like clearly see here that they're bringing in like your brand logo, right? And that you're bringing in other attributes as well, like reviews and all those different call outs that you have, like free cancellation, things of that nature. So I think there's the main takeaway here is to be able to be included in more and more stuff, and especially some of the AI overviews. It looks like they're pulling images into there. Just make sure that you're like hitting all of these formerly called extensions and now called assets, and making sure that you have them in your accounts.
Good advice. All right, Morty, you're up next.
Wow, it's a tough act to follow. Google business profile call data is gone, as reported by Barry Schwartz, the performance report where you can see, hey, all the people calling you from the Google business profile, that information is gone, it seems like, which is people are confused about, but I'm confused because didn't we report on this very show that this was happening? But people seem to be confused about why that is and that whether or not that should be or should not be. So I am confused. I just call it to say I'm confused.
Yeah, initially I thought it was just a bug because somebody reported it last week before it was, I don't know, saying the call data is like missing. I'm like, oh, Google business profiles data is always slow. Just give it some time. Then like, wait a second, didn't Google tell us their call history is going away? But then Tim Caper basically said, no, that was call tracking, which is only in the US. This is that people click the call telephone number, and then it'll just show the numbers of like how many people are actually calling that number, not the actual details of who called, but like you got 2 phone calls today and 3 phone calls yesterday and 5 phone calls, and that tab is completely gone. So he thinks it's a bug and not a feature, but it seems to be weird that it's just completely gone. So I don't know. Hopefully you'll get a phone call from Google telling you what's up. On that, I have something totally unrelated to that, but one of the things from the Department of Justice Google monopoly document was that Apple supposedly maintains an index of X billions of websites. I thought that was pretty interesting because everybody's like, when is Apple coming out? People are seeing Apple bot activity. Apple has Apple Intelligence, Apple has Siri, Spotlight, and so forth. And there's been rumors for the past over a decade, maybe like almost 2 decades, that Apple will be coming out with its own search engine. And it looks like when they hired John, I can't pronounce his last name, Durana, sorry. And you're good at pronouncing names, but Greg, do you have to pronounce that name?
Let me pull it up and get right back to you.
Thank you. When you get to it, let me know. And basically said in the, I think in the document, this is like years ago, that Apple had a search index of about, and it blacked out the number, billion websites. And it goes on to say, although it doesn't presently plan to use the index to offer result pages. Maybe with the Department of Justice stuff going on right now, Apple may go ahead and start to do stuff, because if Google's not going to be paying them billions of dollars per year, I think it's like $20 billion a year, maybe it's time for them to go ahead and build their own search engine. We'll see. So, yeah.
It's not that hard to pronounce either. It's an easy one. John Giandria.
Thank you. I'm going back to my smart campaigns.
Like, his last name was Smith.
Yeah. Bob Jones.
Well, you have a very easy name to pronounce, Greg. Finn. I don't know, 2 N's. You have to pronounce the N really well, but outside of that, you have a really easy name to pronounce. So on that, my name pronunciation is really bad, but I think that's all we got to talk about today. So thanks for all listening. We are, I think, back tomorrow with more exciting breaking news. Will there be a core update today? Who knows?
Exciting times.
Bye-bye.
See you later.